Hey everybody out there in the internet world, and welcome to a week late Dark Avengers comic book review. Unfortunately, due to the holidays that took place this past weekend, comic books were shipped late, I guess. So these comic books are actually from 2 weeks ago. Tomorrow we're going to be filming this week's comic book review. The comic books in this episode are going to be from the week of January 11, 2012, and tomorrow's will be January 18th, 2012. But today's is the 11th. Kind of ironic. These came this past Thursday, and then the comics for this week came the day right after. So I've had two piles of comics to read, and to be honest with you guys, I've only read this pile. So after this video, I'm going to be MLRing Major League Reading. See, I did that. Yes, I'm magic like that. The comics that were released this Wednesday, and doing another review tomorrow. So you guys are lucky. You get to see two reviews in one weekend. I've been doing a lot of sub work this week, guys. The beard shows it, because I haven't had the chance to do anything at home. I've been sleeping, or I've just been working non-stop. So this review would have been around now anyway, regardless. First off, I'd like to mention that due to a lot of people, especially Mark, Ghost Critic, who's been raving about this book. Also, more 00001 raves about this book. And I've seen a lot of people raving about this book. Batwoman. You guys know I dropped it 2 months ago due to the fact that I haven't been reading it from issue 1 to issue 5 now. However, everybody's talking so much about it, I decided to go off and buy issues 4 and 5, the one I missed, and the one that was released this week. Issue 5 was released this week. Well, not this week. It was released on the week of the 11th. However, I have 5 issues now to read. I have to go all the way back to the first issue, because I don't go by reviews. I have to actually read it to be able to review it. What I might do is, this is the end of the first story arc, so I'll probably not review issues 1 through 5. I'll probably just start at issue 6 and work on my way forward. I know you guys heard a review for the other issues, other than, no, 3 was reviewed also. You could come now, Mike. I'm sorry I can't review these 2. Wish I could. I've heard really, really good things. If you want to see a review from this, check out Ghost Critic. He reviewed both of these books if you really want to know. I'm sorry I can't review these for you guys, but I will be returning to Batwoman will be returning as of issue 6, which will be a new story arc, which is spinning out from stuff that happens in this issue, I heard from the review. And yeah, I'll continue along from there. So I'm sorry guys, 4 and 5 will not be reviewed on my channel because I have to read all 5 issues. But it's really good, so I'm giving Batwoman the chance. I'll read the next story arc if I'm interested, and if it sticks, I'll stay with it. Really quickly, from Dark Horse, finally I've got a Dark Horse comic of my own. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Wars #1 miniseries, starring Zach, I forgot his name. Hold on, it was on the first page. Me and names, guys, you know how I am with names. Zane Carrick. Oh, cool. For those of you, really wonderful artwork. Let's give you guys some examples of good artwork. Really nice artwork from Dark Horse's Star Wars. Now, those of you who've read Star Wars Legacy knows that it was a really long and really awesome ongoing series. Unfortunately, the people who write Star Wars now, or Dark Horse, feel it's better to release miniseries for Star Wars instead of an ongoing. So there no longer are any ongoings for Star Wars. There's just a bunch of miniseries. I believe there's the one that I originally wanted to start with was Origin of the Jedi. I am going to be getting that. I'm getting the 0 issue, I believe, that's coming out this month. But this came out, and I used to play the game. If you're interested in Knights of the Old Republic, this takes place before one of the games. So I would say check it out. It's really fun. It follows the main character I mentioned during the Mandalorian Wars. He's trying to stop the generals from killing them because they're unarmed, but in the end, basically, they get ambushed by them anyway, and that's where it's kind of to be continued. It's really good. If you're a Star Wars fan, I'd say check it out. Honestly, if you're a Star Wars fan, I would say check it out, but really more for those KOTOR fans, I'd say check this out than regular Star Wars. There's a bunch of stuff that's coming out. I believe they had an advertisement in here for another Star Wars book that's coming out. I want to see if it's here. Well, here, they got a few here.
Yeah, right there.
They have the Star Wars omnibus and stuff. Star Wars has a lot of miniseries that they're doing now.
they're coming up with many titles I'm hearing for the Star Wars series.
There are a lot.
Yeah, I heard about.
There we go. Legacy Volume 11, Agents of the Empire, Knights of the Old Republic Wars, which I'm reviewing, and Crimson Empire 3. There's just a lot. There was an advertisement for one that they're releasing. Here it is. Dark Times, and that's on. Oh, it's on sale now actually. So there are a lot of miniseries for Star Wars. So if you're a Star Wars fan, check it out. I'll be checking out a few miniseries here and there for Star Wars because I did love Star Wars as a kid. This is a good miniseries thus far. Like I said, you're a KOTOR fan, I'd absolutely say check it out. And that's it for Independence this week. We're going into the big two now.
Alright.
And we're going to start with Captain America 7, which has redeemed itself a bit with me. You guys know how I feel about Cap gaining his super soldier serum and then losing it. Now it seems like it's more of a possible mental trigger. He loses his confidence and his brain shuts down the super soldier serum. That's what he's predicting. We don't know why it's happening yet. But at the beginning of the issue, Steve Rogers now has, his super soldier serum is now back, turned on, so to speak, and he's fine. But they're worried that it might happen again when something happens. And the Mad Bomb is mentioned in this also. Falcon guest stars, Hawkeye guest stars, and Beast guest star in this. And they're trying to figure out what's wrong with Cap. So Cap is sidelined while everybody else is going out to try to catch the people using the Mad Bomb and stop them. However, Cap does decide finally to go out in the field towards the end of the book, and they're reluctant to let him go out because they don't want, because it could happen again. And I believe it has something to do with Bravo, because they do show a scene with Bravo in jail and he's happy about what's going on, and he gets put in solitary confinement, which I have a feeling is going to have something to do with Cap losing his super soldier serum. But all around, this has redeemed itself with me a bit. Hopefully, though, after this story arc, like I said, they'll stop the super soldier thing, losing and gaining the serum, and just continue along with a regular Cap story, because I love Steve Rogers' Cap. I think this book is really holding its own. It's really good. Yeah, I would say check it out. Okay, New Avengers number 20, and the cover says it all. New Avengers versus the New Dark Avengers. And mind you guys, the Dark Avengers had saved everybody in the building. There was no fight, there was no problem. New Avengers show up, and guess what? There's a fight now between the two super teams. And who are the casualties and who are the people that suffer? The civilians. And they know it. Apparently, Norman Osborn has some type of... I think he's kind of like now Luke Cage, because Luke Cage tries to punch him, and not only does Osborn stop the punch, but he actually shows that he's strong, just like Luke Cage. He tosses Luke Cage clear across the
wow.
Wow. The artwork is great. I love Tommy Lee Jones, Norman Osborn. I'll tell you right now, if they do make another movie, it has to be with Tommy Lee Jones as Norman Osborn, because I don't think anybody's going to be able to see anybody else playing Norman Osborn if you've been reading New Avengers right along. It was really, really good. It was funny seeing Iron Fist. He says, I've never tried to Iron Fist a Hulk, and he Iron Fists a Hulk. And it was really funny. Basically, it's a stalemate. The only people that are getting hurt are the civilians, so the New Avengers kind of retreat, so to speak, because they're winning, but at the same time they're losing. So they leave, and it ends with their own Thor showing up against the New Avengers to be continued.
Who has come back from the dead?
No, he's not back from the dead. This is somebody they got to play as Thor. I believe it's Ragnarok. I believe it's Ragnarok. And Spidey's still in his FF costume, so apparently if they throw him out of the FF when the whole Fantastic Four Forever finishes, probably the FF costume will be exclusive to the New Avengers, because we all know Spidey's going to be booted out of the Fantastic Four once Johnny's fully back. So I prefer the regular red and blue costume for New Avengers. But anyway, it was a really good book. I'm more eager to see this end because I'm looking forward to the Avengers versus X-Men story. Dark Avengers was done already. It's over. I wish Brian Michael Bendis would have known that and just left well enough alone, at least for another year or two, and then gone back to the Dark Avengers thing. But since they want to throw it out now, they're throwing it out now, and the Avengers are fighting the Dark Avengers in there. It's a 50-50 thing. The Avengers are, people are seeing it as, you know, they were saved. And Victoria Hand might be working with Norman Osborn. Who knew?
I figured.
But it's showing that the superhumans are fighting amongst themselves, and the only people that are getting hurt are the civilians. This is making the Avengers look bad, so no matter what, the Avengers are going to lose because of this. Incredible Hulk #4. I'm starting to wonder if Bruce Banner is in complete control of his mind. Now that he's able to have rage, he's nuts. Completely, utterly bonkers. He can't turn, he can't turn into the Hulk anymore, and he's been trying for Lord knows how long, and he actually admits he has a brain tumor now because of all the radiation he's been feeding himself. However, finally the Hulk does confront him. Unfortunately though, the whole fight's going to take place in the next issue, and we're going to find out how they were separated, and I have a feeling the separation affected Bruce Banner. I think that something was subtracted from Bruce Banner to make the Hulk, and that's why Bruce Banner is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, as my dear brother has said. So, I'm liking it, don't get me wrong, but I'm being honest, this first story arc, I might actually, after this series, drop it, after this first story, because it's just not interesting.
Toppling.
Yeah. Here's a nice place.
Oh,
new
wow.
artist, by the way, a new artist has taken over for the Incredible Hulk. Just like in Wolverine and the X-Men, there's a new artist, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Does this guy look like Igor, or is it just me?
Yeah, with the little,
yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
But it was fun seeing the Hulk plow through everybody just to get to Banner, and then he actually gets his hand around Bruce Banner, and he's like, go ahead. It only takes a little squeeze, and Hulk can't do it. So really, it makes everybody believe that Bruce Banner is the actual monster, and the Hulk is the good guy. It's not really hard to believe, because 90% of the time in the Marvel U, Bruce was the Hulk. Ever since he became the Hulk, 90% of the time it was Hulk, 10% of the time it was Bruce Banner. So now that Bruce Banner is 100% around now, and he's not the Hulk, he's not in control of the Hulk, he's not losing control and becoming the Hulk, now it's just Bruce Banner. I don't blame the guy for going a bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Really interesting. We'll see where this goes in the next issue. Now, the crossover that once I finish this review, I'll be reading part 2 of, The Amazing Spider-Man 677. And here we have Black Cat. Once again, was, first of all, the beginning of the book was hilarious. Before we get into what happens to Black Cat, we all know Pete lost his girlfriend. I love how this book can relate to people.
Which one, Mary Jane? Carly?
No, Carly.
Oh, Carly, okay.
I love how this book relates to people, but I'm getting kind of annoyed about that, because you know what? I'm sorry Pete lost his girlfriend. I don't like being able to really go, oh, Pete lost his girlfriend? Gee, I lost my girlfriend too, what, a month ago? He lost his girlfriend about what, a month ago? Gee, I can relate. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't want to relate with my fiction.
Just saying.
I want my fiction to be different from my reality, because I'm reading this book to escape reality.
But then again, it's also everyday life with other people. It's not just, you know.
I want to escape reality.
But escape reality
so,
is, you know, you make me finish.
He bumps into Black Cat. And we all know when a guy loses his girlfriend, he's jilted and he looks for somebody, and hello. So he's going for Black Cat. Black Cat can tell right off the bat. She's like, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be bothered with that. So she goes up and he puts a spider tracer on her. But he doesn't follow her. He just puts the tracer on her, I guess, to find her at another future date. However, the police break in to her apartment a few seconds after she sees the spider tracer, and she's arrested. And once again, Black Cat is framed for a robbery that she couldn't have done because she was with Spidey at the time. And who does Spidey go to for help? Just like in Black Cat, the miniseries from way back in the early 2000s.
Which one?
The 4-part miniseries that Nightcrawler was in, and then where she was under arrest.
Oh, that was that Black Cat issue.
Yeah, the 4-part miniseries. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember the name, but it was a Black Cat title.
Men in something, I believe.
Men in Suits.
Whatever. Regardless, it feels like the exact same thing again. Spidey goes to Matt Murdock for help because he knows that Black Cat's innocent, and it's up to Matt Murdock to help. It turns out that something was stolen from Horizon Labs, and they were blaming Black Cat for it, which, once again, is impossible. So it's up to Spidey and Daredevil to find out who's done it, and then to get Matt Murdock to help Black Cat get out of jail. So Spidey and Daredevil have their little team-up moment, which was awesome, by the way. Artwork, however, I do agree with a lot of people. It is indie art. It's something different. very different compared to the way what we're used to in
I mean, the eyes.
Spider-Man. Yeah, but it's not bad. I really am not going to complain about this artwork. I'm not saying I'm completely okay with it being in Spider-Man comics forever, but at the same time, it didn't bother me as much as it bothered everybody else, to be quite honest. This is just my opinion. It didn't bother me
at all either.
So while they're trying to figure out, find the, what did Spidey say they stole? A hologram projector? Yeah, a hologram projector.
Isn't that something that Mysterio uses?
A Wi-Fi hologram projector, what?
That's the one Mysterio uses, I think.
No, the Horizon Labs invented it. So Black Cat blames Spider-Man for her being arrested and uses her bad luck to escape the police. Last time you see her, until the very end, where Spidey, there's an explosion. They get covered in debris. Those of you who've read the preview for Daredevil know where this is going. Spider-Man tries to claw his way out. He grabs an electrical wire and he's basically shocking himself to death because he's grabbed open wires. And guess who's there and why his bad luck is at that moment? Black Cat, who now blames Pete for her being arrested. And that's where they leave you off until next week, which this is kind of the Daredevil is the next book I'm reading, the first book I'm reading when I get when I start reading next week's comics, but that's where they leave you off. Really good. Looking forward to reading Daredevil for the next episode. Really, really good. Amazing Spider-Man has been good. Yes, it's a time off for Dan Slott and Ramos, but they're coming back next week. Not next week, in 2 weeks to do the next story arc next week. Actually, next episode, they're coming back to do the next story arc in Amazing Spider-Man. So we'll be seeing Amazing Spider-Man in the next episode also. And it was really good. I would definitely say check it out and check out the next one. Also to note on the cover, once again, it is still the world's greatest superhero, and it's Spider-Man's 50 years of Spider-Man. I'm sure sometime 50 years.
Oh, wow.
So I'm sure sometime during the year 2012, they're going to be they're going to be doing a 50th anniversary issue or special. Yeah, special.
Yeah, and then I want to take a look at the 50-year special.
Okay, Daken Dark Wolverine, number 19. The conclusion of the whole Los Angeles thing. Let me put it this way. Daken and the Runaways versus this guy. The whole book is them fighting him, and they can't put him down. No matter what they do, they can't put him down. Then finally, it takes a helicopter, thanks to Agent Keel, Donna Keel, and she takes that thing out. He's got a mind control over Donna, but she breaks it far enough so that this way, and all she does is tell Daken, kill him. And he doesn't do it. He leaves him to the Runaways, and he walks away with Donna. To be continued. And guess what? It's coming out in 2 weeks, guys, the next issue. And the next issue starts the last story arc for Daken Dark Wolverine. This was a very good read. However, I really, to be honest, if I have to pick the weakest story of this entire series, since there's only one story left, unless the next story really sucks, it's going to be this story. I just didn't... I like the first story arc. I like the middle. I just didn't enjoy this one as much as I enjoyed the other series. I'm going to try to get you guys a good picture of... No, I can't give you a good one. Which one?
That one? That looks nice.
What's the end? I don't want to... Well, I just told you the end, so there you go. And Dawkins walking away. I love how one of the Runaways said, "You're nothing like Wolverine, I don't like you." And he's like, "No, I'm not." And it says next, a love story, question mark. I really have nothing much to say about this issue because I'm just kind of glad that this story is done. I'm looking forward to the next story that's starting up next week, or I believe it's a middle issue before the actual story starts. The next story starts up, and this series is really good. I understand why Marvel is ending it, but at the same time, I wish they wouldn't have because I really enjoy Daken. I know X-23 is on a team. I hope they put Daken on another team, so this way there's somewhere where we'll be able to read Daken, because we all know, even though they say he's going to die, unless by some stroke of miracle, Marvel's actually willing to let somebody die, we're going to see Daken again soon. Next is a book I decided to give Michael to test out, and from what I hear, he liked it enough that we're coming back with the next issue, and then we'll go from there. I bought it especially because it's on Wolverine's side, and for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, X Factor, number 230. I had too many books to read this week, so I gave it to Mike, and he liked it, so there you go.
Alright, first off, this issue shows clearly that Wolverine is just a perfect leader for his team. But basically...
well, his team, which is the X Factor team, he reopened X Factor. I remember reading the coming attractions for it.
Yeah. Lila. Lila Miller is going through some trouble, and
don't you like that in the beginning? It tells you who all the characters are. You don't have to go through the book. It's right there.
Yeah, but she goes through trouble, and Wolverine comes in and talks to her about it. Basically, her story was that she's been going through lots of stuff with her family. I'm assuming. I really.
The cover's nice.
The cover is nice, and the artwork is just.
Oh, wait, show the first page.
Which one?
The first page. This one.
Yeah.
Well, not the first page, but that one's really good.
But right here, this panel.
This one.
Yeah. So yeah, it quite shows that she was working for a team named Guido, and they were set out to do. I know it's funny. I said that
Sorry,
too.
And had to laugh.
And then there was an all-out argument. Like this one came in, and then there was like women arguing, like Rogue and.
You know what I found interesting? I did skim through this. On the side of Rogue and Gambit, what's up with them? Because I saw Gambit with somebody else at the end.
Gambit?
Was this Gambit at the very, very end? Am I thinking of the wrong book? Let me see the very end of this book.
Yeah, because the end of the book has this.
I thought it was... Maybe it was the other... Yeah, no, it had nothing to do with this book, sorry. Yeah, I was thinking of this page. Never mind, that's not Gambit. You're right.
Yeah, and then the funny thing I like about Guido is that he says that I'm a good guy, but I have no soul. Basically, you know, I have no idea, basically. Then Wolverine comes in, he stops the fight, and then he says that we have lots of other things to worry about now, and...
and he brings the team together, I'm guessing. Yeah,
of course, you know, when he comes in, he just gets to that. Yeah, so the spoiler for the ending, two superheroes actually come in the end to help out with his team, the X Factor.
Havoc and Polaris.
Yep.
Just go.
Oh, go that way, yeah. But yeah, like I said, it's a really great.
It's good to see Havoc. I'm actually going to read this after I finish next week's comics and.
But Lila Miller, I have to admit, she was a really amazing character. Like when I read about her, like how she wouldn't talk, and then Wolverine.
So what's the X Factor team exactly going to do? Did he mention what they're going to do? Like they're going to do side stuff, or
there's going to be some missions and stuff like that Wolverine did mention. But all in all,
okay, so they're kind of like an extended version of X-Force, except they're more public than X-Force is.
Right, and you know, and between what happened with him and Cyclops, you know, that whole thing.
Which is funny because he has Cyclops' brother.
I know, it's weird, but I am hooked on this, and I will definitely be getting issue number 231 and read what happens next.
I'm excited. Yeah. And sticking with the Wolverine side, yes we are, Wolverine the X-Men number 4. And basically, you can see what's going on in the school now. You see Evan, who is clearly Apocalypse, or a future possible Apocalypse, trying to find out who he is, and Deathlock does know what his future, what could happen with his future, because Deathlock can make predictions about futures. You know, there are two paths, but we don't know what path Evan's going to take. But if he finds out who he is, it might be a bad one, and we see that when there's a possibility flashback where we get to see that. Actually, I kind of found it weird that what's his name? Front page. That Quentin Quire and Heidi might actually be dating in an apocalyptic future where Evan turns into Apocalypse. You know what I've noticed, and I agree with the people that have been doing articles on this, that no matter which way you turn, the future looks very bleak for the X-Men. Not fun being an X-Man. Also, Iceman finds out about what happened to Warren, how he lost his memory, and how the Archangel part of him is gone, but the sad part is he believes he's an angel now, and he has no memory of who he is or his past or anything. So now Iceman's basically going to take it under his wing. Well, kind of bad play on words because Archangel has the Angel has the wings, but Iceman's going to be taking care of Angel and trying to get his memory back, and everything is going crazy. So you have Evan. It was actually surmised perfectly in this last page. You have Evan, who's a possible future apocalypse. You have Quentin Quire there, and he's driving everybody nuts. You have Angel, who has no idea who he is, but in the end, they actually show something. In the middle of the book, Angel is a family that he flies to, or he lands on. It's a random family. They're burying their dog because he got run over by a car. Angel touched the dog before he left, but the dog was still in the box. By the end of the issue, the dog's alive. So apparently Angel might have some type of a healing ability or a resurrection ability that I'm sure they're going to talk about.
That's a great superpower. Indeed.
And then there's this tiny epilogue where something's wrong with Kitty. She's super thin in the beginning, so just remember that, because when I show you the last page, because everybody's talked about it already, so you guys know this is 2 weeks old. Kitty Pryde, for some weird reason, ends up pregnant. And in the next issue, she's probably going to give birth. I love the "who boy" at the end.
Kitty Pryde is pregnant?
Nah, it's like a joke on pregnant. She's not pregnant.
Okay, I was about to say.
It's impossible. I don't think she's pregnant. I think something's wrong. And that's where they leave you off. And this book's really good. I'm sorry. If you have to pick a side of the X-Men, it would definitely be this one. I'm enjoying it emphatically. Uncanny just never really piqued my interest. I'm sure there are some people that do like Cyclops' side. I'm not one of them. And yeah. I'm one of the people that when they do Avengers versus X-Men, I hope Cyclops gets his ass handed to him by at least 3 or 4 of the Avengers.
Or Hawkeye, because that's who we're going up against.
So check it out. How much time do we have on this part?
A minute.
Forget it. We'll go on to the next part. Okay. The next part, we have Wolverine 300.
See the next part.
And we have a couple of number ones, one number one to show you guys and a couple other things. So stay tuned. We'll finish off Marvel and go straight into DC. See you guys in the next part.